Black Alpha Network. Home of Black excellence. Power to the people.
We can't jog through our neighborhood in broad daylight. We can't pray in our church homes. We can't shop for groceries. And this list goes on and on and on and on and on. So as these historic or horrific tragedies become more frequent, many of us are asking, where is our Wakanda, a place where we are welcomed and loved? Is it time to toss the deuces to the good old US of A and find our roots? So we're going to talk about that thing just now.
All right. Peace, love, and liberation, everybody. Certified salute from the Black Alpha Network. I appreciate you for tapping in. I'm tapping in right back with the family. Make sure you turn on all your notifications and subscribe to the channel. However you came across this video, from one real one to the next, I appreciate it. But I want everybody to know today, we are living in an anti-black race war. So therefore, we got to stay laser focused and we got to stay on point. And the best way to do that is to have a B1 mind state. Yep, full and strong. Because when you got a strong mind, everything else falls into place. Now, we different over here. Y'all know, B1 certified black society. We don't take no shit. We don't play no games. And we stay about our business. And that's what separates us from the pack. That's why we over here taking care of ours. And they over there falling for the games. We always talk about the trick bags, the con games, the hustles. That's what they go for. We don't go for that shit. We out here pushing the line and putting pressure on motherfuckers. Because they all understand you could do whatever you want to do with everyone else. You can say whatever you want to say to everyone else. You can talk to them however you please. But when you come over here to certified black society, you better watch your motherfucking tone. That's how the fuck it is. Not how it might be, not how it could be, not how you wish it was. No, that's how the fuck it is. And when you deal with foundational black Americans, you better watch yourself. And that's the only way it can be. You either gonna sink or swim, you're gonna fight or flight, because they don't want to see you ball, they want to see you crawl. And we gonna ball out. Being balling out, gonna continue to ball out, because that's what we specialize in, and I definitely specialize in that right here on the Black Alpha Network. No filter, saying what we want to say, doing what we want to do. And today we're gonna break down every last item that's going on in the world today. When you turn on your television, what do you see? You see an anti-black war directly, indirectly, covert, overt, in front of the camera, behind the scenes, but you see it. You see it. And when you have an anti-black war, and everybody runs around here and they put the onus on us. They're more worried about what foundational black Americans are doing than worrying about their own business. I say this all the time. If these motherfuckers put more energy and effort into their own shit, they'd have more shit. But instead, they devote so much time, energy, and effort to trying to block us, to trying to hate on us, to trying to derail us. And that's cool, because trying to derail us and hate on us, you just wasting your time. Because history is proven, none of that shit can be accomplished. You ain't knocking us off our fucking pivot. So if that's what you choose to do, and that's what your mind is on, you're gonna have bad news, all right? Bad news gonna beat you home. Understand that. So anytime you try to put your hater energy on us, you just wasting energy. You need to go play with your kids, okay? Because we ain't the ones. Anytime you out here trying to stop foundational black Americans from getting what we deserve, you're wasting your time. You better take your kids to the goddamn park and push them on the swing. That'd be better energy used, because you're wasting energy trying to stop something that can't be stopped. In us certified black society, we cannot be stopped. I got receipts, I got history, I got facts to prove this shit. And every time we speak and every time we step, we prove it. So everyone out here who's trying to put these little hustles on us, these little con games on us, and trying to derail us from getting what is ours, they all are meeting a rude awakening. Yep, every last one of them. And we're gonna break every last one of them down in detail today. Make sure you bang them notifications and subscribe to the channel, Black Alpha Network, certified BLACK society all the time. Which means focus all the time, on code all the time, and regulating and seeing through bullshit all the time. And if you're regulating bullshit all the time, then you heard the clip in the beginning. You heard how these motherfuckers is trying to get FBA off our square, trying to knock FBA off our pivot. I always speak about how they want us off our pivot. They do not want us 10 toes down. They don't want us firm. They don't want us standing strong on what we believe in. That's what they hate. And now you see this new push, everybody. Y'all seen it. It's been talked about. And you've seen it already before the motherfuckers even start talking about it. You see now they want FBA out of America. That's the whole game plan. We're just gonna say it straight up. They want FBA out of here. They want us to do what all these other motherfuckers do and pack our bags and flee. They want us to go jump over a fucking border, get on a plane and leave somewhere. See, back in the old days, it used to be, oh, stay here in America and do all the slave labor. Stay here in America, do all the heavy lifting. Stay here in America and be the permanent underclass. Now we saying, no, fuck that. Reparations, cut the check. We want what's ours. This era is different. This era is different, y'all. We've been saying it right here on the Black Alpha Network. Certified BLACK society. We've been saying it. We are different. We have circled the wagons. We done G-check people, and we are making our presence felt. Trust me, when they get to the point where they're trying to basically make us, the only non-immigrants, start acting like immigrants, then that lets you know they have ran out of every hustle they can find. That's it. They ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing else. I mean, they done tried the no elections, that didn't work. They done tried the POCs, that didn't work. They done tried the Democrat shit, that don't work. We are at every corner they turn. Every time they turn around, they got to deal with us. Every time they blink, close their motherfucking eyes, they got to deal with us. Coons is running around here having butter biscuit temper tantrums because of us. So now they've reached the point where they say, well, let's just ask them to go. Let's just ask them to go. Let's go get these immigrants that come over here and try to snuggle up next to the dominant society. Let's move them in. They've already tried to replace foundational Black Americans with immigrants anyway. All right, you already see it. You see it in Hollywood. If it's going on in the movies where they can literally go get 100 FBA actors, but they'll go get 3 Black actors from England over and over and over and over again, you already see the game plan has been for them to try to replace us. And we called that shit out. I mean, we're calling out things before they even do it. We speak about that all the time. You got to foresee. We foresee like a motherfucker right here. We see things before these motherfuckers even think of it. We be sitting there saying, hey, they're going to do that. They're going to do that. I told you, man, hey, we playing chess. We ain't playing checkers. You dig? And they're used to Black folks playing checkers for years. Black folks wasn't even playing checkers. Black folks was in this motherfucker playing Uno. And Connect Four, they was playing kiddie games. Now, this era, the B1 era, we are playing chess. And we making chess moves. And we're at the boss's table doing it. And this got them shook. This is why they're literally to the point now where they're running ads. They're having news articles and whole news stories about 5,000 Black Americans have left. You know what the fuck 5,000 is to the Black community? 5,000 isn't even a fucking percent. You got counties that got more than 5,000 people. That ain't even nowhere close to newsworthy. The only reason they would even run some shit like that is if they're trying to send a message or have a dog whistle. That's what it is. And everybody on these panels be a bunch of immigrants. Roland Martin. People from Haiti. This motherfucker was on there grinning. He was happy as hell because he got his little coon orders to try to push FBA to another country while they can move immigrants in. Like I said, back in the old days, they liked it. They liked it because they could just tell Black folks, do this, do this, and do this. This era don't go for that. This era is not lifting up shit. We're not picking up shit unless we get paid for it. I'm going to say that one more time. This era, the B1 era, certified era, we ain't picking up things. We're not mopping floors. We're not dusting shit unless you're going to compensate us. So much compensation that we want the money for what our ancestors had to go through. It's called reparations. And anytime we start getting closer and closer to the bag, they start throwing more and more con games at us. Before, those con games used to derail Black folks. And then they sit down and say, well, you know, we don't really need the money that much. We'll ask for something else. This era is saying, fuck your con games, cut the check. This era is saying, fuck your trick bag, cut the check. This era is saying, fuck you, cut the check. And now they desperate, so they saying, well, let's just see if we can get them to go to Africa. They trying to get some FBAs to go to Africa in the FBA era. Y'all know they fucked up. Oh man, they wrong, can't be more wrong. You fucked up. You should have tried that shit years ago. You should have had Obama come out there and say, yes, we can go to Ghana. Yes, we can go to Liberia. Yes, we can go to Nigeria. Yes, we can go to Kenya, just like his daddy. You try to pull that shit in the wrong motherfucking time. What they say? At the wrong motherfucking place at the wrong motherfucking time. Well, trust me, this is the wrong time for that shit. This is the wrong time because this is our land. This is our country. We built this country. You know what I'm saying? We are the backbones of this country. We are the soul of this country. And everybody knows it. Foundational Black Americans are the face of this country. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. You know what I mean? Our ancestors gave everything to this country. We have given everything to this country. This is all about us. All right, that's why we say FBA. And us self-identifying is the scariest thing to the dominant society because they made billions of dollars keeping us as a nameless group. And now that we're not a nameless group, and now that this foundational Black American, indigenous Black American has caught on and taken over, we leave them with no fucking choice but to roll with it or get rolled over. Point blank, period, bottom line. There's no more asking, there's no more pleading, there's no more begging. We making demands and commands. And you gonna give that shit up or you gonna get that shit took. That's the mentality that we all have. Have y'all noticed that? Have y'all noticed us right now? Our family, we got this. Give it to me, I'm gonna take that shit. That's a whole different mentality from the past. Whole different. They can't make no documentaries. Trust me. You won't see 50 years from now them making documentaries of motherfuckers taking losses. You know how we sit back and we watch some of that civil rights era shit and this motherfucker's getting whooped across the bridge, this motherfucker's getting milkshakes poured on them, or we watch slave movies where they was getting whipped and shit. What documentaries they gonna make now? What documentaries they gonna make about us? It's gonna be about some fucking checks getting written. It's gonna be about foundational black Americans counting so much fucking money that our fingers hurt. It's gonna be about black love, black business, and black pride. And we gonna be the motherfuckers making the movie, starring, directing, and acting in the goddamn movie. That's the future documentaries you're gonna see about us. This shit where we look back and say, damn, we was getting our asses whooped in Selma. Damn, they was whipping the hell out of Kuta. Damn, Toby got fucked up. Ain't happening now. I tell you that goddamn much. They gonna be talking about, damn, them motherfuckers really got them reparation checks. Damn, them motherfuckers really start handling race soldiers. Damn, them motherfuckers really put it down. And it all starts with us right here, right now. And it all starts with self-identifying. Self-identification is the biggest accomplishment that has been made in years. When you're running around here following Jesse Jackson, calling yourself an Africans Americans, or you was running around here calling yourself a peoples of colors, or you was running around here calling yourself a minorities, that allowed everybody to come in and play you. Now when you call yourself a foundational black American, a B1, a certified black, this is when you take ownership. This is when you take control. This is when you get everything you deserve, and we're getting it right now. We're getting it right now, we're getting it right here, and we're doing it all in real time. That's another beauty of this era. This isn't an era we have to like look back and say, man, we did all that way back then. This is the era where we say it, we do it. We speak it, we achieve it. We believe it, we get it. We don't have to sit back and watch a fucking film about something that took us 200 fucking years to get. Everything in this era is in real time. It is in real time. Think about it. When we start saying reparations, that shit took off. When we start saying freedmen, that shit took off. The B1 Brigade, it took off. Certified Black Society took off. We put these things on the line and then we did it. Motherfuckers ain't got time to be wasting doing 1,000 motherfucking sit-ups, 1,000 motherfucking push-ups. Man, let's get to it today. And that's the beauty of this era right now. So when we tell them that this is our country, when we tell them we standing on our square and we ain't getting knocked off our pivot, we say that shit in real time. When we say fuck you, it's in real time. Okay, fuck y'all. So as soon as I say it, they heard it. You know what I mean? It don't take like a long distance to get to them. Okay, we say fuck them, they catch it. That's it. We throwing football passes up in here. Prime example, when I say real time, look at what we did to Black Lives Matter in real time. We ran them off the field, off the block, and out the paint in 5 years. Straight up. As a matter of fact, real brothers and sisters had started calling them out from day one. And they started it. And then we just finished it. That's what happens. A B1 gonna start the job and another B1 gonna finish the job. So if you start something and you don't get it done, it's all good. Your brother, sister got your back. So you don't have to be the last one. You don't have to be the first one. But you're gonna be the one who contributed to ending it. So our brothers and sisters in Ferguson, they started running Black Lives Matter off the block, and we the ones who got their asses up out of here. You feel me? Look at Scam Master J. It didn't even take us 5 years to get him up out of here. It took about 5 months. That motherfucker ain't even last a summer. He came around here and motherfucking May talking all that goddamn, we's gonna stand for the real rights of black folks. Man, by goddamn July, his ass was done for. Ain't seen him since. Tamika Mallory, ain't seen her since. Her and my song, they can't even come around here no more. Out the fucking game. Sean Queen ran him the fuck up out of here. Exposed that you ain't even fucking black. Get the fuck out of here. That little fucking black news channel. We exposed that the owner wasn't even fucking black. They didn't have a black agenda. And they didn't even have certified blacks. Got them the fuck up out of there to the point where they got canceled. And they didn't even get their money. The owner said, man, I ain't paying these motherfuckers. I spent billions of dollars trying to trick black folks. And that shit ain't work. And he took it out on all the workers. Good. You see the game? Everybody says it's strength in numbers. No, it ain't strength in numbers. It's strength in the code. The code is where the power is. The code is where the pride is. The code is where shit gets accomplished. And we got the code. I don't give a fuck. You could have 1 billion people. If you got 1 billion people off code, you ain't got one person. You could have 2 people. And if they're on code, it feels like you got 1 billion folks with you. It's an army, man. This is really genuinely a certified family. This truly is foundational black America. And this truly is our land. And we stand on our square, our homeland, right here. We not Africans. We not throughout the diaspora. We ain't none of that shit. We are FBA, foundational black Americans, indigenous black Americans, native black Americans, original black Americans. It starts with us, and that is it. Everybody knows what we about because everybody tries to duplicate us. But like the old saying goes, Often imitated, never duplicated. You can't duplicate what's one of a kind, brother. You can't. You can try all day long. You can tilt your motherfucking hat to the side. You can put on your motherfucking Converse. You can put on your motherfucking Timbs. You can put on your fucking Nikes. It don't matter. You can play some motherfucking Al Green on slow motion. You cannot duplicate foundational black Americans, and that's what's got them sick. And you know what? I'm gonna give a whole new story right now. Breaking news for them, old for us. You can't trick foundational black Americans either. Ain't that fucked up? Hey, ain't that fucked up for them? When they relied on tricking folks, they relied on deception, because remember, supremacy is all about deception. So what happens when the supremacists can't deceive no more? What he got then? That's a real, genuine motherfucking question. What does the dominant supremacist society have when they can't deceive black folks no more? They ain't got a motherfucking thing. And that proves everything I just said. That proves everything I just said. This is why Black Lives Matter, Scam Master Jay, Cop Allah, Obama, Joe Biden, Talcum X, that's why they've all got ran off the block, because we don't fall for the games. All that is lie, 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 lie. That's all that is. We just sat there and disproved the motherfucker's lie over and over and over again. That's it. And when they can't lie, they can't do nothing. We lock step. We airtight right now. Yes, this team is airtight. We pull paperwork on the day-to-day. Everybody get their paperwork snatched. Everybody get regulated. Everybody get G-checked. Listen to those terms. Pull paperwork, regulate, and G-check. All three of those terms are the personification on how you nation build. If you don't pull paperwork, if you don't G-check, and you don't regulate, you ain't build no nation. And we're doing all of those right now to the maximum. We on 10, standing firm on our square. Everyone knows right here on the Black Alpha Network, I don't sit here and talk about, man, the supremacist society and the dominant society. We don't do that. We leave that up to all the tethers and the coons. They'll sit there all day long and just be defeatists. They'll put their head between their knees and kiss their ass goodbye. We don't do that. We sit here and we talk about how great we are, how strong we are, and how powerful we are, because it's all true. If somebody sits here and tries to tell you how fucked up it is and how bad it is, they're a liar. And they need to just go sit their ass down, take a nap, or a long walk off a short cliff, okay? We don't do that. We celebrate. We pop our collars. You know what I'm saying? What's the old saying? You look good, you feel good, you play good, you play good, get paid good, get paid good, you eat good, you live good, you die good. That's black power. And we living it. Straight up and down. I'm on code, she's on code, we on code. Side by side, step for step, standing on our square. So no, the tethers, they're not going to try to remove us, because that's what they want. The tethers want our place. All right, all these motherfuckers who come across this whole world and try to come here, they want foundational black Americans' place. That's why Roland Martin was all grinning and shit, sweating all that fucking chicken grease out of his pores. All right, he was doing that shit because he really thinks that shit's gonna work, and it ain't. And what happens is all these immigrants, they want to come here and say, why don't you go to Africa FBA and I stay here? I be new FBA. Nah, fuck that, Kunta. Nah, take it back to what it was. Remember? Nah, we not real black. We Akatas. If we Akatas and we ain't real black, why you want to send us over there? We done seen 15 different faces from these motherfuckers. 1 minute it's Akata, 1 minute we not the original black man, we not real. Some of these motherfuckers say we ain't even black. And now all of a sudden when they want to come to America, it's why don't you go home? I said it before. When we started talking about reparations, then everybody started coming up with some extra bullshit. They were already on basic bullshit, but reparations talk has turned it even to further bullshit. Back in the old days, it was Akata, you're not from here. Then all of a sudden when it came reparations, it was come home, brother. Nah, fuck that. You got some who say come home, brother. You got some who hate Tariq Nasheed. I mean, these motherfuckers can't stand Tariq. They fight Tariq more than they fight supremacy. You know, they fucked up. You know what I mean? And this is what happens. But you got a collection. It's not just the people in Africa. You got these motherfuckers all over the world who want to come here and try to replace foundational black America. And they're being recruited. Remember, this all goes back to the dominant society. Make no mistakes about it. All the dominant society does is exploit the jealousy and the envy that these other people have for us. All right. So the dominant society comes to these people and says, hey, come on over here to America. We'll give you some fucking scholarships, give you a couple loans, and elevate you over foundational black Americans. Still treat you like shit. Still do what they did to that guy up in Michigan. Y'all saw that. You saw what his parents said. We thought we were coming for the American dream. No, you're coming here for supremacy. That's what you coming here for, whether you know it or not. That's what the fuck you coming here for. But once again, they were so focused on being elevated above foundational black Americans and so focused on cuddling, snuggling, and laying next to the dominant society that they lost sight of all that shit. Because these people already have pre-hatred. That's why I said, and I'll say it again, and I'll stand on this. Since we standing on our square, let me stand on this square right here. You have an exclusive brand of anti-blackness. You have the regular anti-blackness that all black people deal with, and then you have anti-foundational black American hatred. All right, that's a whole different breed. The difference between regular anti-black hate and anti-foundational black hatred is that anti-foundational black hatred is done by other black people. Remember that. You already have all these other groups who are anti-black, but when you start talking about hatred towards us, then you got a whole group of black folks who got problems with us. Everybody on that panel that started off this show, everybody, they were all anti-black. Every last one of them. I mean, I guarantee it. We are the only group of black folks that other black folks have exclusive slurs for. There's not another group of black people on this planet that other black folks have derogatory terms for. Not one. Think about that now. Think about it. If there is one, you tell me who and tell me what it is. Because we all know the slurs that they call black Americans, not just to mention the bullshit that they say about us. But these motherfuckers done took the time to come up with an actual word to hate us. It's one thing to say black Americans is lazy, they don't work hard, black Americans are thugs. It's one thing to say all that. But when you sit down and you create a motherfucking term for us, that means your ass done put in overtime. And they put in overtime hating us. They put in overtime being jealous. They put in overtime with their envy of us on this side. That is why you have to separate anti-black racism from anti-foundational black American racism. It's a whole different game, y'all. Whole different game. And right here on the Black Alpha Network, we gonna always break shit down like that. I told you we go where they don't want to go. We go where they scared to go. But we real enough to say it, and the whole family's real enough to say it. I appreciate y'all all the time. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash that like button as well. Salute. But this is what it is, and this is what's happening. So they bring in all of these different characters to try to play some role against us. All the movie stars from overseas that they come in and try to get over us. All the loans that they give, all the scholarships, all these people now. They're to the point of being so fucking desperate that they're literally trying to get us to leave. Because they know we are the only non-immigrant group in this country. So now they're trying to get us to act like immigrants. How you know they fronting? Because they sitting here talking about you should go to Africa so you don't have to face supremacy anymore. First off, they facing supremacy and they facing all types of supremacy over there. They got colonizers left and right. That's bullshit. But it's funny because people like Roland Martin, you don't fight supremacy here. You're a minion of supremacy in America. But then you want to use supremacy to get us to leave America so your immigrant class can come in. Nice try. Nice try, brother. We see through you, Rolly. See through you, all y'all, every last one of you, okay? Rolly and all Rolly's little buddies. We see straight through you. Don't be over here bootlicking supremacy, but then try to use supremacy to get us to leave. You, supremacy, and all the minions of supremacy are gonna have to deal with FBA. And you can start by bowing down. You ever notice things that they never admit on a day-to-day basis, they'll only say when they're trying to hustle us to leave? They'll never talk about supremacy. They'll never talk about anti-black racism. They bootlick all that. But when they're trying to get FBA to go and they're trying to convince FBA to leave so they can come in, then all of a sudden they start bringing it up. Bullshit. It's like the person that only admits to something when he can get something out of it, they got a fucking agenda. 1 minute it's, there's no supremacy, it's not that bad. And then when they're trying to get us to leave America, then it's, y'all know y'all got supremacy here, maybe you should leave. 1 minute it's, man, Joe Biden's gonna fight anti-black racism. No problem. Next minute it's, Joe Biden didn't do anything for anti-black racism. But if you go to Ghana, you'll be safe. 1 minute it's, what is blackness? The next minute is, blackness ain't in America, but if you go over to Africa, you'll see it. Nah, motherfucker. Checkmate. We say we stand firm right here, and we ain't going nowhere. We don't flee. That's the main thing. We always say that. We don't flee our country. That's the point that we always kick to these people. When Tariq Nasheed and Brother Marcel, when they completely roasted whoever that was, those two Emma Coons on that little panel, whatever the fuck, the first thing they said was, why don't y'all stay in y'all country? They hate when we pull that one out. We could sit here and debate with these motherfuckers for hours. I ain't doing that. I'ma just say, well, why'd you leave your country if your country's so great? That's it. That's the motherfucking wild card. That's the motherfucking Mike Tyson uppercut that ends the fight. Good night, everybody go home. That shit's like Gervonta Tank Davis. All right, that's what you get them with. Game over. Because they know, certified black Americans, we're the only people who never ran from their country. We're never the ones who went to go seek other things. Every other group on this earth done came to another country, seek sins a better life. We ain't never do that. We built and we made what we have here. That's what I say. The mentality is completely different. When you put two people in a room and one person fled his country, turned his back on his own culture to go eat off another person's plate, you can't put him in a room with someone who built his country, crafted his country, and stood through the thick and thin. Them two people can't get along. Fuck no. That's why I say they can't exist in our presence. What the fuck is wrong with them? You can't stand next to no FBA, man. It just ain't happening. The mentality is different. The approach is different. You talking about someone who ran versus someone who stood on his square. That's why today's episode is standing on your square. We've been doing that for 500 fucking years. 500 years. These motherfuckers done put on track shoes, no shoes, boots, sandals, moccasins, and ran wherever the fuck they was running from to get to where we're at. We stood here and built this motherfucker. So no, we ain't going no goddamn where. All this little push that they got right now, but they trying to bring in these immigrants and trying to persuade us to leave the country. You can take them little 5,000 motherfuckers who did it and they can all be gone. I'll pack they shit for them, okay? Us right here, us real ones, we're going to stand firm in the country that we built, in the country that we crafted, okay? And if you think we on it, wait till you see these next kids. Because they're not going to come up in the world of African Americans. They're not going to come up in the world of people of colors. They're going to come up in an FBA certified world. All right, we're going to be passing down this certified energy. So they're really going to represent their heritage and their lineage. They're really going to represent their culture and their nationality. Oh, it's on. Oh, it is on. B1 is a mentality, FBA is a nationality, and certified is the soul. And when you put all three of those together, you get an exceptional group. Bar none, hands down, point blank. The only supremacist, defiant people on the earth. Like I said, look at everybody else wanting to come on over here. Y'all know why they want to come here. I broke it down on a few episodes ago. I broke it down. They not coming over here for better dreams. They coming over here because they want to be next to Karen and Ken. 99% of immigration is trying to snuggle up next to the dominant society. All right. That's why half these people come from countries where cake soap is having record profits. Yeah, I said it. He said it. He meant it. These people come from countries where cake soap is breaking records. They got cake soap flying off the fucking shelves. They in there goddamn backstroking and swimming in cake soap. So you mean to tell me that all these countries where motherfuckers is bathing in cake soap just happens to be the countries that have the highest immigration? So is this really about the American dream, or is this really about the supremacist dream? They want to come over here. Yeah, I said it. Goddamn right. Certified Black Society, Black Alpha Network in the building. Smash that like button, y'all. I went there. We're going to keep going there too. Uncut. No filters. They want to come over here and live the supremacist dream. And what is the supremacist dream to them? Living next door to Karen and Ken, perhaps getting a date, perhaps getting to come over for dinner from time to time, bootlick a few of their shoes, get them a couple goddamn butter biscuits with or without frosting, because they putting frosting on it nowadays, y'all, so these motherfuckers done went extra insane. They was cooning without frosting. Shit, you throw some frosting on that shit, these motherfuckers is tap dancing backwards. So Karen, Ken, bootlicks, butter biscuits, and frosting is exactly what they want. And then on top of all that, they get to duplicate and imitate the group that they've wanted to be since day one. Foundational Black Americans. This is why they have their little panels. This is why they have their discussions. And this is why they have this propaganda where the Democrats are mostly sending these people out, by the way. This is why they're all out here now trying to get us to do the immigrant thing and flee. To do the immigrant thing and run, to do the immigrant thing and hide. But instead, we're going to do the certified thing, which is the same thing we've always done, and that is stand firm on our motherfucking square. B1. Now, since we done rolled that up, we're going to do a Twitter space about that, by the way. I want everybody to call up and speak, because when I do my Twitter spaces, I love when people call in. That's what I like. I like being with the family. I want to hear what everybody's thinking, what everybody's saying, so we can all kind of build off each other's thoughts. You know, I don't want one of those things where just somebody talks all the way through and it's just one person. Fuck that. Communication is key and context is key. So when we all talk and we share that energy, we all leave stronger. That is Black empowerment. And remember, we're the only people who practice Black empowerment. These other groups, they practice Black cowardness. Big motherfucking difference. But since we done rolled that shit up, let's move on to the next one, because we are standing firm on our square. And I said we're going to break down a lot of items right here on today's Black AlphaCast, because there's so much going on. It's the summertime, man. Salute to everybody. Like I always say, stay focused, stay healthy, stay strong. That's the most important thing. Shout out to all the brothers, sisters, kings, queens, the goddess, and the gods. I love you all. Ain't afraid to say it. We riding like that. We going to keep bringing the heat. We going to keep bringing the soul. We're going to always speak truth to power. We're going to always be the voice of the real ones. Hey, this family is getting bigger every day, getting stronger every day. So all of us right here, let's turn this thing up. But right now, family, let's take this empowerment, and we done already regulated them. Now let's regulate this, because that's all we do. We see shit that's out of pocket. We see shit that's off code. We regulate it. So with that said, on to the next one.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us AlphaCast. I'm John Dickerson in for Nora. Tonight, another mass shooting in America, this time at an elementary school. On the brink of summer vacation, lives in the small town of Uvalde, Texas have changed forever.
First it was Buffalo, now it's Texas, and a long list of items before. And I say that to say this. When you live violence, you breathe the violence, you breed violence, and you're always trying to fuck with people who are trying to be peaceful. This is what you get. I believe Brother Malcolm X said the chickens came home to roost. That's exactly what Brother Malcolm X said. And you guys know what I'm talking about too. Salute. When you live violent and everybody in the whole country has a bone to pick with foundational Black Americans, everybody always teams up against foundational Black Americans, people who can't get along in no other aspect of their life except for their shared hatred of foundational Black Americans, these things happen. Oh yeah, it's called creating a monster. And when you create a monster, you can't stop the monster, and that's why we call it a monster. And you see that going on right here in the United States of America. All of these mass assaults that you've been seeing, oh, trust and believe, this shit is all rooted in supremacy. Yes, the SOS, system of supremacy. The SOS, system of supremacy, drives every single thing in this country, in particular, the violence in this country. So you can't have a country that's based on violence. You can't have a country that's based on anti-Blackness and not expect that shit to spill over, fall over, trip over into other areas. Once again, instead of taking care of your own shit, you've been too worried about us. And now your own shit is twisted, tangled, and all fucked up. Trust and believe, anytime you see one of these situations, you already know who's behind it. You already know who the culprit is. You don't see FBAs running around here doing none of this madness. You don't ever see that shit. Never have, never will. But I'll tell you who you do see, dominant society. You never see foundational Black Americans running around here just going out of our way to hate on motherfuckers. No. But I'll tell you who you do see, the dominant society. You never see foundational Black Americans running around here trying to hate on or oppress any other group. No. But I'll tell you who you do see, the dominant society. And not only do you see the dominant society, you see all of their minions, because you got a lot of mascots. You got a lot of Mr. Me Too's. The dominant society says jump, they say how high. The dominant society says fall, they drop to the ground. The dominant society says bark like a dog, they bark like a fucking dog. And when you mix all of that shit together with an anti-Blackness that they all have, eventually they start turning on each other. Eventually they get chaotic. Eventually they start doing shit when we ain't even around. Now they can get on the news, they can get on television, try to spin that shit and put it back on us, but shit, a lot of times they ain't got nothing to do with us. We just be over here minding our own certified business as always. I've always said this right here on the Black Alpha Network. We be minding our own business. We are the most stay in our own lane, don't bother nobody people you will ever find. And the motherfuckers try to throw shit at us. But sometimes, you know, they just gonna have to take this L and we just gonna have to sit this one out. I know a lot of Black folks always try to insert themselves in everyone else's issues, try to put themselves front and center in someone else's problems. I don't do that. Your problems is your problems, mine are mine. If it ain't B1, it ain't certified, it's not on my side of the fence, I don't give two fucks. And people say, man, well, everything affects everything. Well, okay, if everything affects everything, then how come everybody else don't have to deal with anti-Black racism? I don't even subscribe to that. That's bullshit. Nah, fuck that. No, I don't see anybody coming across our side to assist us. But yet we're always volunteering ourselves to help other people. The people that we volunteer to help are people that wouldn't lift a finger for us. That ain't my opinion. That ain't my guess. That's a fact. That has history to back it. You understand? So we're living in a system where it is controlled by supremacy. And when you are controlled by supremacy, you see the after effect, you see the trickle down, you see the domino effect and how it plays across the whole country. People are talking about, oh man, this is an insane world going on. When will it stop? People are watching the news, seeing what's going on in Texas, saying, oh my goodness, wow. It was, oh my goodness, wow, just a week before that in Buffalo, New York. But I didn't hear none of that. I heard hugs and prayers and forgiveness. Have you seen anybody come in with the same energy for that situation as this situation? Have you? Nah, because when it came to Buffalo, let's be real. People were okay with it, content with it, and fine with it because it happened to Black people. One thing that's been proven is America is completely okay with violence as long as it only affects Black people. I'm gonna say that one more time for the crowd. Yes. America is completely okay with violence as long as it affects Black people exclusively. That is it. When it affects us, everyone's okay with it. They go on about their day. They go to Dairy Queen to get a fucking ice cream sandwich with some fucking sprinkles on it. Oh yeah, that happened to the Blacks. Oh, that's how they are. When it happens to everyone else, then it's, oh my God, when, why, where? We as a country, we as a people, we all need to come together and hold hands. That shit happen to black folks, it's like, they'll solve it. They'll be all right. They like gangster rap any goddamn way. Y'all know goddamn well how it is. And anybody who's saying anything other than that is disingenuous and fucking lying. See, let me tell you about me. All right, Black Alpha Network, we keep this shit real. We say what the fuck people are scared to say. We speak when motherfuckers are scared to speak. And we put it on the line when motherfuckers ain't trying to put it on the line. But you get shit done with the truth. You get shit done with reality. Let me say this. I stand on the truth 24/7, 365. I'll never compromise saying what everyone in the fucking room knows is real. And only a few of us, and that's the thing about foundational black Americans. Yes, I'm talking to my whole family. Yes, I'm talking about B1 certified blacks. Yes, I'm talking to all of y'all. We are the only ones who confront people with that real shit. Everyone else, they run, they hide, they duck, they dodge, they sit down, they do a fucking spin, and they run. We don't do that. When we see something's real, and we know it's real, we speak it and we stand on that shit. We don't go ahead and come up with no written apology. All right, we don't have a prepared statement. We don't backtrack and say, well, I didn't mean to say what I knew was real, but I'm scared to say it. Fuck that. They better be scared of us because we speak the truth. And one thing has been proven in the United States of America and across this whole goddamn world. When a black person speaks what's real, everyone else gets scared. Well, as I always say, then they gonna be some scared motherfuckers then, because we gonna keep on speaking it. And I'm gonna keep on speaking it right now today on this episode, is that when it happens to black folk, that when violence happens to black folks, everyone's okay with it. When it happens to other folks, everyone is upset and hurt. And you've seen it completely with the Buffalo situation, and you've seen it with the Texas situation. I ain't even got to go 3-4 years back. I can go right now within a matter of a week and prove my point. That's the beauty of having race receipts, and we got them. As a matter of fact, it took Joe Biden 2 hours to make a statement. Now, mind you, it took him 2 hours to make a statement. It took him 30 minutes before they said he was about to make a statement. When it came to Buffalo, it took him about 7-8 hours to even bring it up. It took him a whole week to give a full address. And then as soon as he did it, he said some hugs and prayers, got on the plane, and got the fuck out of Dodge. Yeah, he gave a complete dragging of the foot, complete half-ass, weak as fuck statement when it came to us. As a matter of fact, when it came to us in Buffalo, when those were black people, I mostly heard talking points, blaming Republicans, blaming Fox News. Like I said, he gave a whole speech about us, never mentioned being black, never mentioned black folks, never mentioned an anti-black race war, never mentioned a hate crime bill, nothing. He didn't say shit. It was the same bullshit. So it was disingenuous. And like I started off this episode saying, we have that trained eye and we see through it all. We see through it all. Once again, we're the only motherfuckers who see it and say it. So here we are seeing it and saying it. He was fronting. But when it came to this situation, that motherfucker had a statement out quick, ASAP, expedient. And another thing that you notice when they have these quick ASAP and expedient statements with condolences. I don't even think they said condolences once to us, but that's another story. Not only do you see that, but you notice they never, ever, ever ask the victims to forgive. They don't even bring up forgiveness. When it comes to these other groups, I don't care who these other groups are. They never mention forgiveness. With black folks, they come already with forgiveness spewing out their fucking mouth. They don't even get there. Before they get off the plane, they talking about forgiveness. They come and say, y'all gonna forgive, ain't you? You gonna forgive, right? Forgive, huh? Forgive? You ain't really that mad, is you? You just kind of already over it, right? And you gonna forgive the guy because he's not that bad of a kid? Get the fuck out of here. Y'all know they do that shit. How many times do we gotta say this? How many times do we gotta say they come at us with forgiveness? There's not been a mass assault on black folks in the history of America where they did not come at the victims and ask them for forgiveness. Matter of fact, black folks forgive people who didn't even ask for forgiveness. You literally have a motherfucker harm black folks, get on the stand and smile. Tell the whole goddamn world I did it on purpose because I don't like black folks. And black folks will still say, I forgives. I've seen it. You've seen it. We've all seen it. I ain't making nothing up. Once again, this shit all thorough. I ain't saying a motherfucking thing that has not happened. Black folks will forgive that shit ASAP. They'll forgive people who don't even ask for the shit. It's one thing to forgive somebody who doesn't deserve forgiveness. It's another thing to forgive somebody who didn't even ask for the shit. But they get swayed and they get pushed into it. These news anchors come around and they just push all the buttons and they find the right Negroes that they can get an apology for, they can get a forgiveness from, and they just push them until they do it, and then they put them on camera front and center. Check this out. I'm going to play you 2 clips of 2 Negroes who were in forgiveness mode. They went full slave. They was like, I forgives, I have to's. I just gotta forgive. But why you gotta forgive? Just because. Why? Because I just have to forgive. The motherfucker couldn't even tell you why they had to forgive. It's one thing, again, to forgive. It's another thing to not even know why you're forgiving. You just got to do it. And you can't even explain why. They couldn't explain their own forgiveness. you know you in complete robot slave mode. Well, anyway, these two people you're going to hear talk, listen to the first guy. He is forgiving the criminal for what the criminal did to his friend, but he's giving it on behalf of his friend who isn't even here anymore. Didn't I say that these coons was breaking records out here in these streets? Didn't I say that these coons are making up new coonery? This motherfucker didn't even forgive on his own behalf. He's forgiving on someone else's behalf. He's literally saying that his friend would forgive the person who took his life away. He's literally forgiving on the behalf of the victim to the criminal. God damn. Boy, I tell you, it's cold out here. Boy, it's cold in these goddamn streets. It's cold in these streets. I remember the day when you used to forgive for what happened to you. I didn't know that you could forgive on the behalf of someone who isn't even around anymore. I didn't even know you could do that. God damn. But check this shit out. Listen to the coonery.
Get him home. Jeffrey Peace is an administrator at the State Tabernacle Church. He was a fellow deacon there with... Get him home. Jeffrey Peace is an administrator at the State Tabernacle Church. He was a fellow deacon there with deceased shooting victim Hayward Patterson for several years. I asked Peace about how the man who was so loved and trusted in the church community would have responded to his killer. The gunman was clearly full of hatred. Do you think that Deacon Patterson might forgive this man if he were able to?
The Bible tells us to forgive. You know, it tells us to forgive. It tells us to forgive. It tells us to forgive. I can't speak. He's gone. He's gone. But if surviving, yes. I would say yes. I would have to say yes. And we're going to have to forgive the gunman because we're here.
God damn.
Another friend says the community is angry, but can you forgive this gunman? I have to. Another friend says the community is angry, but can you forgive this gunman? I have to.
These people ain't built for war. Nah, these people ain't built for war. These are soft targets. These ain't even soft targets. See, you could be a soft target and you may just not have the power to defend yourself. You may be elderly, you may be a student, you may be young, you may not have it in you. These people are just coons. That's all they are, all right? These folks are running around here, head in the clouds, lost in the fucking sauce. And they're everywhere. You know, we all see them, the forgivers, and they'll always go seek them out. But remember, there's not as many as they show us. They purposely put these folks in front of the camera. We all know that. We all know it. So when you see these people on television forgiving people before they even ask for forgiveness, or forgiving people who don't ask for forgiveness, or giving out forgiveness before they even find a suspect yet, because we've all seen it and I've seen it before. I done seen motherfuckers forgiving people where they don't even know who the suspect is. They say, whoever did it, we forgive you. We don't know who did it, what did it, how they did it, but I just forgive you anyway. So when they're out here giving out all that blind forgiveness, we know who those people are, but we also understand that the dominant society fuels themselves off of these folks because they have to set that precedence of weakness. They have to set that precedence of being docile. I know what you'll never see. You'll never see a real rider on television with the camera in front of them saying, nah, this B1. Nah, we ain't playing that. Nah, we riding. You'll never see that. Never. What Huey P. Newton said, he said he never expects the W media to give positive images of black men and women. And we don't expect them to. That's why we create our own. I mean, we've created every other thing. Shit, we created the country. We've created every major invention in this country. We've created every major advancement in this country. We've created it all, so it ain't nothing new. I tell people, don't ever in your life think that they're going to throw something at foundational black Americans that's going to catch us by surprise. We done been through it all. We done seen it all. We done it all. And we've done it all with class and with style. So no, we don't give a fuck. They can come up on television today and put out every bad image. They can go find every forgiven coon that they can possibly fathom. And we still going to set the precedence that FBA don't play. I mean, shit, look at it now. They put a forgiven coon on television after every single major race event. And people still know better not to fuck with us. So what does that tell you? That tells you that we're in charge and we blaze our own path. And that's what you got to do. You got to take the lead, grab the mantle, and we do it every single time, every single day. Because when you're in an anti-black race war, that's a military situation. So you got to have a military mind. You got to think strategically. You got to think ahead of the curve. You got to understand that this situation is in effect in every aspect of life. So therefore, you got to be present and you got to be active in all shapes of life. If you're a black politician, you got to be a soldier. If you're a black businessman or businesswoman, you gotta be a soldier. A black student, gotta be a soldier. In the black economics, you gotta be a soldier. If you're a writer out here in these streets, you gotta be a soldier. Because remember, these folks is anti-black everywhere. So we got to have pro-black everywhere. It's simple. It's an easy correlation that you can draw between the two of them. And you know what? We got all the riders. I tell people like this, the soldiers that you're looking for are already here. All the riders you looking for are already here. We always trying to waste time trying to recruit folks. I'm trying to wake everybody up. I'm trying to give sight to the blind. Nah, there comes a time where the motherfucker can't see, then you got to keep it pushing. Straight up and down. Matter of fact, let me give y'all a story. I'm going to give y'all a story. One day, this is no lie. This is straight up and down. No cap. This is guaranteed. One day my phone rang. And I used to always get a mixed line call from somebody else. Like somebody had the same number as me or something similar. And for whatever reason, this person's calls used to always come to my phone. And it went on for years. One day the phone rang and there was an elderly lady on the phone and she was asking for this person. And I told her, I said, ma'am, I'm sorry, this is a different number. I always get this guy's calls. And hopefully, you can call another time and it gets through to him, but this is the wrong number. And then she was like, okay, that's cool, baby. I appreciate it. And then she started talking to me. No lie. No lie. She started talking to me. She just said, well, how are you doing today, baby? This is an old Southern lady. Very sweet, like one of our grandmothers. I mean, very sweet. When she starts talking to you, you listen. Okay, I was like, yes, ma'am. I was all ears and I was paying attention. And she started talking to me, telling me about what went on back in the 50s and what went on back in the 60s in the state of Georgia, for those who don't know. She started telling me about a lot of things and I was asking her questions. And by then, I wasn't even thinking about the guy whose calls keep coming to my phone on accident. I was so into her stories and how sweet she was that I was paying undivided attention. And she told me about all the anti-blackness that she received coming up, all the anti-blackness that her family dealt with living in the deep south. She started telling me about being black and being prideful and how beautiful and how strong we are. And this conversation went on for about an hour. No lie, family. I promise you, this went on for a good hour. And I had never spoke to this lady before, but she was so kind and so sweet. She reminded me of my grandmother, and I listened to her for, so long. And I asked her a question and it sticks with me forever. Ever. This question, I said, as a young black person today, living in, these times and the things that we deal with and trying to play our role in black empowerment, I asked her, what should I do in terms of reaching our people and trying to build with our people and trying to take this to another level? And she said, baby, what you got to do is you got to stay strong, you got to stay focused, and you try to teach those who will listen. And then those are the ones you get. And those who will not listen and do not receive the message, you move on without them. And y'all know how Southern black grandmother talk. They say it straight to the point. I mean, it don't get no clearer. People can yell, they can scream all day long, and they can say it with the softest, sweetest voice. And it hits you right in the chest, right in your heart. And she said it and it hit me right in my heart. And I said, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Please stay good. And she told me straight up, she said, baby, this phone call was supposed to happen for a reason. And I said, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that 100%. She said, you keep doing you, you stay strong, and I got a lot of faith in you. And right then and there, salute, and I was ready. You want to talk about motivation? I was ready to go, ready to get it, and it sticks with me every time we're confronted with any situation, whether that's the Buffalo situation, whether that's the Charleston situation, whether it's any situation that encounters our people, where the empowerment of my people are, wherever they are, I'm at. You understand? And that type of energy that I received from that lady and the energy that I received from all of the elders lives within me and it lives within y'all. And we got to keep this thing pushing. So we got to understand that this is an anti-black race war. And those before us, they were living in the same war and they passed us the baton. And we got this baton in our hand and we have it to be strong. We have it to be powerful and we have it to prevail. And if you got all of those lined up with that B1 certified mentality, then you're going to move some furniture and you're going to knock shit out the way. And that's what we're doing right now. That's why every time you turn on the TV, there's another story, there's another situation. People are saying, what's going on in these times today? And a lot of folks turn into cowards and they run. We don't do that. To be clear, we get even more empowered and more unified. We're here for it. Hey, we said it was going to be a hot summer. We said it was going to be a hot summer, brothers and sisters. We got to look out for each other. We got to stand next to each other. Stay vigilant. Stay aware of our surroundings. Look out for everyone around you. Stay with your team. Stay with your family. I want everybody to get their self-defense game up and don't be anybody's soft target. Don't be anybody's soft target. Never that. Never that. We got a lot of sisters out here who ride for it. We got a lot of brothers out here who ride for it. And there's nothing to it but to do it. So when we click up and we look out for each other, man, we good to go. So always keep that in mind and always keep that locked in. You got to stay safe. That's why every episode I always say, hey, y'all stay safe out there. Stay good. That's the main thing above all. And the best way you stay safe and good is when you got that military mind and you got that I wish a motherfucker would in you. When you got those two things, shit, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And when they fucking with certified black society, they know what it is. Speaking of knowing what it is, let's talk about some race receipts, because you know we can't go too long without giving out some race receipts. This is what I'm talking about, man. B1 certifies, we undefeated. Everything we call happens. We say some shit's gonna happen and then it happens. That's just what it is and that's what it do, because supremacy's not fooling us. These motherfuckers are in a headlock. Supremacy got them in a headlock. They running 90-year-old lies on people. How you falling for a lie that someone made 90 years ago? The person who came up with that lie has been off this earth for 70 years. And you still falling for the lie they came up with in 1950. Come on, come the fuck on. Let me tell you something. Somebody who came up with a lie during my great-great-grandfather's era is not fooling me. And supremacy does not fool me. It does not fool y'all. These motherfuckers either willingly are falling for this shit or just they're that incoherent. Either one is bad. We don't fall for that shit. We actually call out supremacy before supremacy makes its next step. That's why they can't stand us. That's why everybody got smoked with FBA. That's why everybody mad right now. And they gonna stay mad right now because we gonna call out every move. We out here playing chess, not checkers. You know what I'm saying? We know what the fuck they gonna come up with because we know who we dealing with. When you know who you dealing with, then you understand everything. It's about the art of war. It's the art of war. Know thy enemy, all right? And when you know that motherfucker is a sleaze bag, then expect him to do sleazy shit. All right, and we're gonna break it down like we always break it down. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way. Remember a couple months ago when they were talking about making Texas an open carry state? They went in and changed the laws and tried to make it to where everybody can just walk around with whatever they want to. Y'all remember that shit? And we said the reason why they're doing that, because in their mind, they had, we're gonna be open so we can go harm black folks. Trust me, whenever they start talking about carrying, they're not thinking about each other, they're thinking about us, all right? Anytime they start talking about anything that is a bad scenario, a bad situation, or that will turn out bad, they got us in mind. When they think about robbery, they think about us. We may not even be around. When they think about crime, they think about Chicago. When they think about theft, they're thinking about black folks again. Black folks won't be nowhere in the picture. It'll be one of them doing it to each other. They still think about us. You know what I'm saying? It could be a W on W crime. They'll still think somehow a black person did it. How the fuck we do it when it's W on W? They'll try to put us in the W on W situation. That's how fucked up it is. They be trying to include us in every damn thing. You seen that situation happen in Texas and they start talking about Chicago. Basically, they were saying, let's not focus on us, let's focus on them. Because you know, they can never focus on the dominant society. That is rule number one. And the fact that they don't want to focus on the dominant society, they let things fester and these things become crazy. And then next thing you know, they're going at each other. Once again, this is what happens when you create a monster. You do not focus on the monster and you worried about us, that monster's gonna be on your doorstep. And guess what? It's on their doorstep. And I got popcorn in the microwave. Don't give two fucks. Hell nah. But remember I said chickens come home to roost, y'all? Remember when I quoted Brother Malcolm X, chicken come home to roost? Y'all done heard Malcolm X say it before. Well, Malcolm X said this because what I told y'all, I said we call out supremacy before they even make their next step. Well, let's give a situation where Brother Malcolm called out supremacy back then, and it applies to now. See, when they walked around and they were changing laws for open carry and they thought, well, this is for black folks, you know, because they always got their mind on us. Anything they do, they're always thinking, how can we harm them legally? That's what it was. Well, guess what? Now they start turning on each other. Like I said in the very beginning of today's Black AlphaCast. The situation shows you right there. When they were just allowing anybody to walk around carrying, eventually these people start turning on each other when we're not even present. You see what I'm talking about? They had black folks in mind the whole time, but that plan has went terribly wrong. When you create a monster, you cannot control a monster. That's why we call it a monster. If you could control it, it'd be a pet. It'd be a dog. It'd be a cat. But supremacy has created these monsters, and therefore now they got to deal with it, because one thing a monster does, it'll turn on the person right next to him. And good for us, we way the fuck over there, again, minding our own certified black business, not even present. I tell folks, it's good to mind your own fucking business sometimes. Oh yeah, oh yeah. When these motherfuckers start trying to go after each other and start harming each other, FBA, we straight. We over there doing what the fuck we doing. I'm in this motherfucker watching some reruns of Sanford and Son. Shit, I'm trying to see what the fuck Lamont up to today. I ain't worried about their business. A lot of black folks want to get involved with somebody else's business and dive in someone else's problems. I ain't. Shit, I'm about to dive in this fucking lemonade I made and watch me an episode of 227. There's no place like home in this motherfucker. That's about the extent of it. And how do you know this? Because you can look around and look at all the celebrities that have come out and said, oh my gosh, prayers for there, prayers for there, prayers for there. And here's the thing, much love and respect to everybody. But at the end of the day, I'm calling out the motherfuckers who flip-flop. They flip-flop. Nobody said a motherfucking thing when it came to black folks. All these celebrities that be out here caping for every other fucking group, all these celebrities that be out here rallying for all these other fucking groups and other causes, they don't say shit when it come down to black folks. They don't say shit about an anti-black hate crime bill. They don't say thing about black protections, black reparations. What the last celebrity you seen come out and talk about reparations? Excuse me. Not when was the last one have you heard any of them come out and talk about reparations? They don't come out and talk about an anti-black hate crime bill. Every single law and every single policy that the black grassroots is pushing for, you ain't seen one of these celebrities come out and talk about it. But they was quick to put on a Black Lives Matter t-shirt, right? They was quick to come out here and march for every other motherfucking group in the country. The same way that they grabbing their little phones and their little fucking Twitter fingers and they're talking about praying hands for Texas, but there was no praying hands for Buffalo. They got the same motherfucking emoji on your phone. You got the same emoji that you can click that motherfucker, hashtag Buffalo, and put the same praying hand on it, but you ain't do none of that. But you grab that motherfucker and put 100 praying hands for Texas. It's the same game, the same con, the same hustle. It's the same ones, and it's the usual suspects. All these black celebrities out there caping for somebody else. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all remember a couple years ago when that little W boy was being bullied and all those black celebrities were coming out trying to give the little boy money, talking about stay strong, little Timmy. Oh, it's okay. People is mean. You just a great little boy. And then you come to find out it was a scam and his W mom was racist, and they went back and looked at all her tweets and she was saying all types of anti-black shit. That's what happens when you deal with these celebrities. Phony as fuck, fake as fuck, and that's why we run them straight out of town. Fuck off the block. We used to run motherfuckers off the block. Now we run their ass out of town. Yeah, we run them straight out of town. That's because they all scared. They all scared to come out and put it on the line. You know what I'm saying? This shows you what I was talking about with cowards versus real ones. A coward is always going to run, is always going to hide. A real one's always going to stand on his, and that's what we do. We stand on ours, and we represent a long list of black riders who have always put it down for the black community, have always put it down for certified black society, and did it with no compromise against all odds. Those are the people that I salute, and I send that big old middle finger, fuck you, to everyone else who's scared. Cause y'all know they always trying to slow down this B1 train, always trying to divert our energy with some bullshit, but nah, they can't do that. We too strong for that. We too powerful. And that's exactly what I want to talk about today, how strong and how powerful we are. Cause y'all know they always trying to put some coon in front of us, some butter biscuit chaser, some Sambo. They always got the camera on the weakest motherfucker out there. Big grown ass men on TV crying and shit. I done seen more big grown ass black men on television crying than goddamn Karens. If I see another black man on television crying, we're hurting, just sad, motherfucker, stop. How long, when? No, when will your ass get a box of Kleenexes, okay? And get the fuck out my face. Van Jones, it's just a billion different Van Joneses out there. If it ain't Van Jones, it's Jones Van, okay? Big old 6'2" black man with a beard and a bald head crying on television about what the supremacists did to him and how bad we hurts as a community and how bad we hurts as a communities. Man, you better get your big ass off my TV and sit down. Looking like a fucking NFL linebacker but crying like a cheerleader. Your ass should be playing for the Dallas Cowboys. Fuck you doing crying. Big ass Terry Crews. Terry Crews, look at him. Big old bald head black man crying. Van Jones, bald head black man crying. All them goddamn muscles, and you gotta have a W woman news anchor console you on national television. Man, what the fuck? You don't see this with no other group of men. If they start crying, they make sure they take the cameras off of them. These coons be on television just bawling. Who have y'all seen in the last 5 years crying on TV more than a black man? Y'all seen the brother on TV just talking about, no, I'm just gonna hug everybody. Listen, can I hug you, please? The fuck out here. They do that because they don't want any positive images of black men and women. They don't want any strength shown, no warrior class. Because they know that warrior class is real and it spreads. That B1 certified energy, that shit permeates. It's addictive. Fuck 0 to 100, that shit'll go from 1 to a trillion real fast. So they do their best to put every coon and every sucker, every marshmallow right in front of the camera, center stage. They give them a box of Kleenexes and they say, go ahead, cry. And they be on there talking about something, he hurt me. No lie. Tell me anybody you've seen cry on TV more than a black man. Who? Name me any other group of men that you've seen cry more than a black man. Fuck men. Name me any group of anybody that has cried more than a black man. Terry Crews cried. Van Jones cried. D.L. Hughley cried. Marcus Lemoyce Hill cried. Only time I know some of these motherfuckers is when they crying. I just know him as the crying guy. That's it. News anchors cry.
Van, what are your thoughts? this morning. It's easier to be a dad. It's easier to tell your kids character matters. It matters. Telling the truth matters. Being a good person matters. And it's easier for a whole lot of people. If you're Muslim in this country, you don't have to worry if the president doesn't want you here. If you're an immigrant, you don't have to worry if the president's going to be happier to have babies snatched away or send dreamers back for no reason. This is vindication for a lot of people who have really suffered. You know, I can't breathe. You know, that wasn't just George Floyd. That was a lot of people that felt that they couldn't breathe.
Goddamn.
That no human would want to live there. You know who did, Mr. President? I did. From the day I was brought home from the hospital to the day I left for college. And a lot of people I care about still do. There are challenges, no doubt. But people are proud of their community. I don't want to sound self-righteous, but people get up and go to work there. They care for their families there. They love their children who pledge allegiance to the flag, just like people who live in districts of congressmen who support you, sir. They are Americans too. We'll be right back. I was counting in the car, talking with my producer. I've done 15 of these, at least the ones I could count. And we keep having the conversation about Democrats will say guns, Republicans will say mental health, and nothing will change. And I'll probably do another one this year. Family after family, having nowhere to go with their grief. We'll get into a political conversation later, but is this the way we're supposed to live?
Y'all hear that guy crying? That's a big grown-ass man, bald-head again. I don't know what's up with these bald-headed brothers crying. Man, if you're bald-headed, quit crying, all right? Just stop this shit. That man is crying about Donald Trump saying something means to him. He didn't even say it to him. I'm sorry. He's not even crying about Donald Trump saying something mean to him. He crying because Donald Trump said something wrong about his town. What the fuck? Come on, y'all. Kids don't even do that. This motherfucker crying in third person. Goddamn. Comedians cry.
Hi, Steve. This is Rich List from Orlando, Florida, and I called you to wish you a happy birthday and ask you one question. Do you still love me, baby? I'm waiting for my answer, buddy.
Hey, man. I love you, man.
I love you too, man. Yeah. You want to say hi to your girlfriend?
Who, Becky there?
Yeah?
Hey, man.
Say hi.
Hey, Becky.
Hi, Steve.
Jesus.
We love you, buddy.
These people.
We wish you the best happy birthday.
I was 26 years old, man. I was struggling. I didn't have nothing. And these people on the furniture.
Listen to Steve Harvey on there. Steve Harvey on there crying. Steve Harvey get on TV, say all types of shit. Ain't he the same guy that said he don't give a damn about slavery? He don't give a damn about slavery, but look how quick he was crying when the W was on there. I got a question, Steve. You still love me, baby? And he started crying. I lived in their house. And they always cry whenever they tell the story about the savior that helped them. You ever notice it's always a W savior? It's always the W who helped me. So are you really crying about what they did for you? Or are you crying that you got a W savior? And then he said, hey, the funniest shit was, I'm sorry, I was laughing. He said, is Becky there? And he was crying all day long. No, I thought you didn't give a fuck about slavery. That's what he said. I didn't make that up. He said he don't give a damn about slavery. But apparently he gives a damn about Ken and Karen. I got another comedian that cried. Listen to this.
You're crying. You are crying. How come he affects you so much? I mean, you know, you joined a gang. You were not. You dropped out. You ended up getting your GED.
Yeah.
Why is what he's saying upsetting you so much?
Because I was this close to never making it.
He saved
Never
you.
been nothing. So when I see people who don't believe they can do it, just one person can say one thing that Nobody believed in me, ever. And to have a dude say, you can be what you want. I remember we had a fair, and I'll never forget that. And I hope he's as proud of me as I ever am.
Mr. D.L. Hughley, Mr. Democrat man. Now, he ain't ever got no energy for the Democratic Party, but look at him right here, crying. He just told me he loved me. Another brother crying. Both of these guys are some Democrat dominant society tap dancers. And you see how quick they cry for the dominant society. And look, he got a W man too. Him and Steve Harvey, both the kings of comedy, long before they were ever in the spotlight. These guys were already tap dancers for Zaddy and on TV crying. But I digress. On to the next one. Now listen to this. Not only do these black men be crying, they got black men crying in other countries on television. This guy is crying with an accent. Listen to this guy right here. He start crying. Check it out.
Mark, I know what my parents went through. All right, take your time, Michael. Take your time.
My mother's family stopped talking to her because her husband was too dark. I know what they went through, and that came back to me immediately.
All right, Michael. Well, look, extraordinary stuff yesterday, and thank you very much for being with us today.
Come on now. We got comedians, news anchors, football players, and now we got some damn random black dude in fucking the UK crying. Hey, because with the dark, they cried, they hurt him. I mean, come the fuck on. Literally, ladies and gentlemen, I had about 30 different ones, and I had to chop this down for time's sake. And also because certifies, I can't hear this shit for too fucking long, okay? Point blank. But this motherfucker was crying with an accent. Steve Harvey was crying because of Zaddy. D.L. Hughley was crying because of Zaddy. Van Jones, this motherfucker cried. You heard that. That motherfucker would just damn near fell out his seat. Legs flew up in the fucking air. Oh, and the women cry. Listen to Angela Rye.
Like it's like being constantly gaslit. We're constantly being told. I'm told every day I'm on air that I'm racist because I call out racism. That is maddening to me, and I'm crying about it because it's crazy. And I wish that somebody who's a colleague of mine, like Alice, could at least acknowledge that fact. Like, that is so frustrating. We're supposed to be talking about a 12-year-old boy who was just trying to deliver newspapers, and the police are called on him in Ohio, where Tamir Rice was killed, and the same age. I want to be acknowledged and seen.
Now look at her, all that goddamn Democrat shit again. A bunch of Democrats love crying. Now she ain't never got that emotion anywhere. She was crying because Donald Trump hurt her feelings. Defeated coons. This is what they doing. They try to take the warrior class out of the game, out of the picture, and replace it with the coon class. All right? They don't want real strong brothers and sisters, kings and queens, goddess and gods on television. They'd rather have zaddy chasers and buck breakers. That's really what they want. And unfortunately for them, the new black media is in full motherfucking effect and in full swing. We're in charge now. So as I said before, we're not only controlling the narrative, we're not only controlling the talking points, we're not only changing the script, we're changing the images. The images come right along with all those other changes that we're facilitating right now. We're putting the image out there of real brothers and sisters who don't take no shit. We're putting the image out there of real brothers and sisters who hold it down. We're putting the image out there of real brothers and sisters where you're gonna catch some smoke if you run up. Why do you think in any situation they always pick soft targets? It's always a soft target. They don't never come after the Wu-Tang Clan. Know that. You understand? They don't never come after real ones because they know what come along with it. So this is what they're trying to hide from, and they're trying to put out that energy, put out more bullshit images, put out more brothers on TV crying, put out more brothers wearing dresses. That means they're going to have more soft targets to pick from. They'll never put out images of real warriors because that means you're going to have some real warriors to deal with. Why you think they'll take Dwayne Wade's kid and put a damn 7-page article in the news about him? Why you think that? They'll have a whole 30-minute special about Dwayne Wade's son. And then they won't even refer to him as Dwayne Wade's son. Y'all know why they do that? Because they're trying to breed more soft targets. The same way they used to buck break black men is the same way they can do it, but now they try to do it through imagery. Pure coon imagery. They want the image of a broken coon to go way further than the image of a proud warrior. So they'll send a bunch of black men to the Grammys, to the Oscars, to the Emmys wearing blouses. They'll send a bunch of black men on television, on the camera, on news, crying. Tell me the dominant society version of Terry Crews. Somebody tell me. Show me the dominant society version of Van Jones. There ain't one. You only see this type of behavior with a bunch of broken coons. That is it. That is all. Because they do not want that warrior to get out. And like I said, the new black media, we're changing the whole game. You're starting to see more of a step. You're starting to see more of a bop. We reject that type of shit. All that applauding and saying, oh, that's good. Be who you are. Love yourself. All that shit. Black folks is rejecting that. We rejecting that. Because like I said, certified, man, we some B1s. We strong with it. We strong. We're not going to be played and twisted on some bullshit that they trying to feed us. We understand when it's game. That's one thing about us. We understand when it's game. We know when someone's trying to run game on us. We know when someone's trying to hustle us. I don't know about 10 motherfucking years ago, but I know right now, oh, the game is flipped. The game is flipped and it's in our favor. Like I said, we got the ball. We got the rock right now. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to hit that motherfucker off the glass, nothing but net, every single time. So if you think you're going to come deal with us on that shit, you're dealing with the wrong crowd. Wrong crowd, because we are strong, prideful, certified people. Straight up, every time we come, we see winners. When we look in the mirror, we see a winner looking back at us, bosses, and we sit at the boss's table. So this new era right here, this new wave, that's just something else that we're G-checking. That's just something else that we are regulating. You can't say B1 without saying confidence. It goes hand in hand. You can't separate it. If you B1, you confident. You show me somebody who's not confident, I'm gonna show you a loser. You show me somebody who is confident, and I'm gonna show you a winner. Let's put some real warriors on the front line. Let's put some real brothers and sisters, kings and queens, goddess and guys up, and they'll let everybody know. It's not gonna be a breeding ground full of soft targets. It's gonna be a front line full of warriors. Know that, bet that, respect that. Look at Buffalo, New York. A grocery store full of mostly elderly black people, soft target. Look at Charleston, South Carolina, a church full of mostly elderly people. They go after soft targets. They don't want no smoke with no real hard hitter. They know that. Everybody knows that shit. If they really want some smoke, I can take you across the line right now and go show you some real brothers. Let them step their ass right on the block and see what really happened. As a matter of fact, all y'all listening right now, you know a place, and it might be where you at today. You know a place where you'll never see no situation like that go down in. Y'all know some people that will never let that shit happen because they love soft targets. They never gonna come at them real ones. They not gonna come at the Rough Riders. They not gonna come at the Wu-Tang Clan. They not gonna go after the Dog Pound. They ain't running up on none of them. They run up in churches and they run up in grocery stores. You ever notice that they talk about, what about black on black crime? But they don't never run up on the areas where they talk about black on black crime. They'll say all this shit about black on black crime, but they'll maneuver and go all around them places. They'll walk way away from them places. They'll never be there though, right? They'll talk about the Houstons, the St. Louis, the Kansas Cities, the Oaklands, the Savannahs, the Atlantas, the Clevelands, the Detroits. They always talk about, what about Chicago? You notice they don't never step foot in Chicago? As a matter of fact, for the last few years, all of these black people that we've been seeing getting harmed on camera, stopped for broken taillights, have any of them look like Mike Tyson? Have any of them look like Deontay Wilder? Or do they look like elderly people, straight A students, or women? Exactly, soft targets. And the dominant society has a whole system where they try to breed soft targets. So anytime they're trying to serve you forgiveness and good trouble, turn the other cheek, I forgive, or they put a man on television crying, or they put a man on television with his nails painted, they only do that so they can breed new soft targets, because that's the only thing they'll ever step to. And I say that to say this. Anytime we have a situation where brothers and sisters are harmed, this is the time where they take the opportunity to put some black folks on TV crying. This is the time where they take the opportunity to put some I forgive massa on television. I turn the other cheek. We all human beings. This is why when Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Barack Obama, George Bush, Bill Clinton, every president for the last 100 years has got on television after something bad happened to black folks, they automatically start dropping sermons and they're going to scripture. Don't do this for anybody else. For anybody else, it's punishment, it's revenge. With black folks, it's scripture, it's the third day, it's when the moon rose, it's we as people, it's we all God's children. This is what we get. This is why somebody can feel comfortable to fly all the way from another country and immediately get here and try to attack our sisters, try to beat up our women in the nail salon or at a gas station. Or they'll fly all the way from another country and they're gonna try to pick a fight with a 7-year-old black kid. It's because when these situations happen, they put these coons on TV who cry, who forgive, who says, can't we all just get along? Shit, sometimes these folks will get on TV and say, calm down. They'll tell all the protesters, calm down, be nice. My brother or sister wouldn't want this to happen. Go home. Because they're trying to get that settlement check. To us, that's cooning. To the rest of the world, it's setting a statement that you can harm these people and they don't fight back. You can harm these people and this is how they reply. Soft targets. And it's all the system. It don't happen on accident. It don't happen on coincidence. And it don't happen just because. Nothing happens just because. in the system of supremacy. Everything is calculated. All supremacists operate off of anti-blackness, and all their little minions who want to score brownie points operate off of anti-blackness. They all do. It's all calculated. And these Negroes out here taking the fucking bait. Don't y'all see that shit happen all the time? These Negroes take the bait every day. I mean, it could be what about black on black crime? Negroes take the bait with that. It can be we needs to get alongs and do betters. Negroes take the bait with that. All these motherfuckers do is play their role very well in the system of supremacy, and they cannot stand us certifieds because we're the ones who are off script. Trust me, they want us to just sit down, take supremacy nice, and be good. What Malcolm X say? They want us to suffer peacefully. And the reason why they can't stand us is because their little movie script that they done wrote, we done ripped that shit up. And we say, nah, fuck that. We doing our own thing. And they hate that we go off script. All these little motherfuckers who come over to this country and try to score brownie points, they're on script with supremacy. All these little Negroes running around here talking about, we just is wrong. They're on script with supremacy. All these folks from the diaspora who come here and say, we work harder than you, FBA. All them motherfuckers are on script with supremacy. We not. And that's why they so frustrated right now. They irritated. There hasn't been a time in American history where the dominant society has been so frustrated and so irritated. There hasn't been. You can point any time. There's not been a time where they've been so frustrated and irritated because they don't know what's happening next. They don't know. They used to have these black folks who were on script that fell for all they shit, took all the bait. We don't do that shit. So now they're like, whoa, what the fuck? They have a lot of uncertainty going on in the dominant society. Look at them. Look, when you go to your fucking grocery store, you go to your job, look in their faces, look in their eyes. They do not know what's happening next. We have them very fucking shook. They're so insecure right now. And that's what happens when you get on code. When you on code, like we're on code right now, that makes them very insecure and very fucking scared. Super shook. None of the games they playing is working. None of the hustles and the cons is working. They twisted. I mean, think about it. If you're dealing with people who are cowards, who have to rely on soft targets, never come at real folks, always go around, maneuver, and evade real certified black folks and try to go after the softest target they can find. If they have to rely on that type of cowardly shit, then you know damn right the code got them shook. That's why we all predicted what was going to be happening. Everything that we're seeing right now going on in this country, B1s predicted a long time ago. Because we knew when we get on code, this is what happens. We knew when we get strong, unified, galvanized, motivated, this is what happens. That's why every single day you turn on the TV, you see something different. Another story is going down your timeline, it's coming across your screen, you're getting alerts on your phone, notifications, and it's always something. That's why we out here for real, and we living in real time, and we ready for it. We stay ready so we ain't got to get ready, and this is why the B1 certified family is in full effect. And whatever anybody throws, we ready for it. Oh, you won't catch us slipping. Certifieds, tell them again, they will not catch us slipping. Not at all. Maybe them coons, maybe them sambos, but not us. This B1 season, certified summer. We on deck. Trust and believe. But it's something everybody's been talking about right now. They've been talking about the Kyle Rittenhouse effect. And have all these new situations been the after effect from the Kyle Rittenhouse case? Y'all remember that when he was running around, popping folks, police was giving him water, the judge was defending him and yelling at everybody, that situation. And I say, yeah, it is. But the Kyle Rittenhouse effect is also the Dylan Roof effect, which is also the Charlottesville effect. Remember in Charlottesville, they was riding in cars through crowds. You know what I'm saying? So yes, all these things are interconnected, and that's that monster that I'm talking about that they've created when you have a whole culture based on violence and a whole culture based on the petty targeting and oppression of people. Oh yes, but it wasn't just that. The major part of the Kyle Rittenhouse situation was that judge. And that judge was on TV. He wasn't really talking to the courtroom. He was talking to the cameras. And he was letting everybody know, y'all go handle y'all business out here in the streets. And when you come up in this courtroom, you're going to have somebody like me who's going to defend you like my grandson. Because that judge was treating Kyle Rittenhouse like that was his son. He was defending the criminal like he was innocent. And he was going after the innocent like they were criminals. But it was deeper than that. It was basically him saying, you guys do what you want to do. Go out there and be race soldiers. And I'm letting the world know through these cameras in this room that this is how we're supposed to conduct ourselves. They send out signals to each other through the television. They send out signals to each other through the media. And that judge was sending out signal after signal saying, us here in the legal world, we got the backs of all you race soldiers out there in the streets. And this is why you get what you get. And this is why the chickens have come home to roost. And this is why certified black society stands on our motherfucking square. Bet that. But all right, I appreciate the pull-up family. Thanks for spending your time with the Black Alpha Network. You know I'm sending certified salutes to every one of y'all. Let's keep doing what we do. Make sure you smash that like button, Subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on. We working, we shining, and we grinding. But we're going to do it all together, and we're going to represent each other to the fullest. That's the difference between us, and that's the difference between everybody else. We roll as a team, and we stay close. Like I said, airtight, lockstep. When you like that, and you on that page, and you on that mind frame, can nothing derail you. Because the days of the distractions and the diversions, you know, all the bullshit they throw at us. I mean, we name it every single time we break it down. We know there's always going to be some bullshit they throw at us, but we swat that shit and we reject it. Because we strong and we empowered, and that's what empowerment looks like. Empowerment looks like a motherfucker coming up with games for you and you knock that shit out the way. Empowerment looks like a motherfucker trying to hustle you and con you and you knock that shit out the way. Empowerment looks like motherfuckers getting upset because they cannot trick you no more. That's what it is. And if you look around you and you open your eyes, that's all you see. You see certified black society throwing a wrench in the game, and they can't touch that. Indeed, peace, love, and liberation, everybody. Make sure you follow me on all platforms. Hit me up on YouTube, Twitter, my Cash App, Instagram. It's all in the bio. Check it out. We working, we building, we grinding. And as I say, we doing it all with certified style. I'll catch you all on the B1 side. Shout out to all the regulators. And always, black is beautiful and beautiful is black.